Good morning. Hey, it's been a while since I've been able to record a little bit about the 9 mistakes from the book by Skip Pritchard, which I really find is a fascinating really guide to business and life in general. In review, it starts with the 3 laws. The first being desire. Desire is really the catalyst to any success. That burning desire, not a case of I'm just going to do this because I can make a lot of money, or because my parents think I should do this, or I don't know what else I'm going to do. The second is belief, and we have to have that unwavering belief in ourselves when it comes to our ability to do whatever. We are our biggest cheerleaders, and it doesn't matter how much other people rally around us. If we are not convinced of our own greatness, it's not going to happen. And most importantly, gratitude. I know sometimes that seems to be overused, but gratitude for every opportunity, every view out your back door, breath you take. When we have gratitude, the hurdles are lower and the success is more sweet. So we've talked about mistakes. The first mistake was working someone else's dream, and it doesn't mean that you can't work for somebody, but it has to be your dream, not theirs. Second is allowing someone else to define your value. It happens a lot, especially when we're younger. We might have people that say you're not worthy, or you're not very good at what you do, or you're never going to amount to anything. But practically speaking, we can do whatever we decide we want to do. Third mistake is accepting excuses. I know some very wise people that mentor me that would say that's probably the most relevant. So it really starts with, I always talk about the people that you surround yourself with can either bring you up or bring you down. And so the first part of accepting excuses is avoid people who make excuses, who encourage excuses. In my industry, there's people that will say, and I've probably even been guilty of this, say, oh, that doesn't work for me, so I don't know why you'd want to do that. Well, everyone's individually different. And so hanging around with people that encourage excuses are just going to convince us to make excuses as well. When we learn to overcome our excuses, we progress forward, because when we set aside the excuses, the magical process starts of I would say victories, which ties into gratitude. And so we become grateful for those little victories, and all of a sudden when we look back historically, even though we don't think we're making big movements, we're making huge movements. And that's what it's all about. Nothing happens quickly, but historically looking back, it's amazing how much territory we can cover when we set aside excuses. Behind every excuse is the door to greatness. As I have learned through the mentoring that has been given to me, when you stick to the plan and overcome those fears of things you don't want to do or don't believe you can do, it's amazing what greatness will appear. Stepping into your greatness. Can't step into our greatness if we're making excuses. People who make excuses are not going anywhere. It's that stagnant cycle of maybe small victories, but reverting back to a default of failure. It's a hard one to break because a lot of our cycles of excuses are hardwired into us, and the need to set those aside is a conscious daily decision, and it takes a lot of work, and it's a lifetime of work. Tuning out the voices of doubt. That is one that shouts at me a lot of the time. We're cruising along and something happens, and our default trigger is, I knew I couldn't do that. Well, that's not true. That's just negative self-talk. We are our own cheerleaders. We have to be willing to change our narrative to ourselves from doubt to convinced that we will be successful. Again, we don't always see exactly what that path will be, but if we do the steps and we're consistent and we look at the positives and are grateful, voila, greatness. Think about the energy we have and how we use it. I've always thought of people who use their energy in a negative way. So, we always kid about criminals. Man, if those criminal minds would just put that to good use, just think how much money they could make or how successful they could be. Now, we're not criminals, but if we shift our energy to positive thoughts and creativity, think of what we can achieve. And again, it's mindset. It's a daily decision to be positive, to not make excuses, to just do it. Some days that's a small increment. Some days that's there's only a little we can do because we are human. But if we continue forward, ultimately we will have great success. Guard that inner voice. The words we use, I know this wise woman, Shirley Small, always is making suggestions on the words we use, because what we speak, we hear, and we hear ourselves saying it, and it becomes self-fulfilling. The inner voice is the same. We have to be in a constant mantra of success and greatness and self-belief. And over time, it becomes habit. You don't even think about it when you've done it religiously. And then the mindset changes. The hardwiring gets redone. Adham, I don't know where you are. It's good to see you. Excuses cannot withstand positive self-talk. So if we have our inner voice being positive, the words we use on the outside being positive, that self-doubt cannot overcome that. We squash it with our own strength and our own words, our own beliefs, and it fades. Doesn't mean it's not there trying to rear its head occasionally, but if we're consistent in what we do with our words and our self-talk and our belief in ourselves, being our own cheerleader, doesn't mean wearing a skirt and having pom-poms, but we need to be we need to have that belief in ourselves. Last one, if you want to take back your life, take back your thoughts. I can't agree with that more. For me, that's been a long process. It is amazing how our thoughts can throw us off track so quickly we don't even realize it. But if you control your thoughts in a positive way, you'll influence yourself, and as importantly, you'll influence others by just how you carry yourself, how you react to situations. And as they say, we are all leaders. We We lead by everything we do. It doesn't matter if it's waiting in line at a grocery store. It doesn't matter if we're the Walmart greeter. It doesn't matter if we're the president of a company. We are all leaders and set examples to those around us. So, with that said, mistake number 3, accepting excuses. So today I commit to not accepting my own excuses, and we'll continue to work hard on moving forward with positive self-talk. Hope you can too. The rest of these are floating around. I'm going to put them all on YouTube, Desert Seller AZ, if you want to see this series. And again, if you've got questions, want to chat, just want to brainstorm, call me, 602-301-4862. If you think about real estate, Scottsdale, Arizona, call me there too. Otherwise, there's my notification. Make it a great day. Adam, have a safe trip. Talk to you all soon. Bye.